Hello, everyone. I am audible now, I guess. Okay, I have made it full volume. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I always start with a question. And why? Questions always help us think deeply. So that's the reason I always start with a question to help you think. So here it goes. Have you ever looked around your workplace and thought, how is someone with less experience gaining more visibility than me? You have been here longer, you have handled more complexities, you have delivered consistently, and yet someone newer seems to be in all important conversations. If that thought has crossed your mind even once, this session is for you. But before I get started, let me share with you all that today is day 31 of the 365 live sessions on career growth strategies. Okay, so now before we jump to conclusions like favoritism, office politics, or even luck, etc., let's pause for a moment. Because sometimes what we see on the surface is not always the true story or the full story. Here is what you should know. First, visibility is about perception, not just contribution. You might be doing excellent work, no doubt, but visibility is not created only by doing the work. It is created by how your work is understood, how often it shows up in conversations, how easily others can talk about the impact that your work creates. If your contribution is not visible in a clear way, if it's not visible in a clear way, it stays captive, it stays local, not organizational. Two, newer professionals often optimize for exposure. So, this is interesting. People earlier in their careers tend to speak more freely, volunteer more openly, and explore beyond their defined roles. Not always, but smart early professionals. Because they are actually less cautious. Whereas experienced professionals, they become more careful, more selective, more content, and slowly visibility reduces. Yes or no? Have you seen that? Have you noticed that? Okay, the third point is you are being judged differently now. At a certain level, expectations change. Earlier, visibility came from effort, participation, and activities. Now, visibility comes from perspectives, direction, and influence. If you are still showing up the old way, you may not get noticed the same way. Fourth point, familiarity can reduce attention. This is real. When you have been consistent for a long time, people start taking your presence for granted. Not because you are less valuable, but because you have become predictable. And newness often attracts attention. So the question is, have you evolved how you show up? or stayed the same? Fifth point is visibility needs intentional design. Visibility is not accidental. It's not about being loud, it's about being intentional. Where do you show up? What do you contribute? How do you position your thinking? When you become intentional, visibility becomes a result, not a struggle. So here's the truth: it is not about comparing yourself with someone younger, it's about asking yourself, has my approach evolved with my experience? Because experience without evolution can quietly make you invisible. Again, I'll repeat this. Experience without evolution can quietly make you invisible. Let that sink in. So, I'm curious to know from all of you, have you ever felt this? If yes, comment yes below. Let's make this conversation real. And if this made you reflect, then don't miss what's coming up next. Every evening at 8 p.m. IST, I go live and talk about real career situations. Yes, real career situations that most people think about, but they don't discuss openly. No filters, just clarity, just clarity. More and more professionals are starting to show up consistently, and I would love to see you also tomorrow here. So make sure, as I always say, follow, subscribe, and join me again tomorrow at 8 p.m. IST. Until then, don't focus on who is getting more visibility, but focus on how you are showing up differently. That's where the shift begins. See you tomorrow.